All right, excited for the challenge, going on the road, Christmas Day, only show in town. All right, I think the guys are excited about it. Great opportunity for us. Just finished up a Friday practice for us, and we still have some finishing touches to put on it. So guys need to get recovery. Some guys need to run. Some guys need to meet extra with the coaches. So we're still working towards that, but certainly excited to go on the road, in Lambeau Field, playing a really good football team. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Thank you, Coach. We'll start with Tom Withers.
Thanks, Rob. Hey, Kevin, just another day. JC, is there any chance of him playing, or do you have to rule him out at this point?
Well, I guess he just went on the list, so I don't know if I'd rule him out, but he's in the protocols.
Okay, and then in terms of your offensive line, can you tell us how that will be reconfigured at this point with James coming back and with some other changes?
Yeah, going to work through it, Tom. Like you mentioned, James Hudson comes back, so he will be available to us. See how Jed does when he comes off the list, potentially. Nick Harris obviously has to be ready to go if JC can't go. So moving parts, but that's the name of the game.
Thanks.
Thanks, Tom. We'll go to Jay Trotter.
Yeah, hey, Kevin. Baker wasn't at practice, at least the portion we saw, still on the COVID list. So is the plan still to start him Saturday, number one? And then number two, if he gets activated tomorrow, he would fly with you all. If he doesn't, you're going to arrange other travel plans like you had said earlier this week.
Yeah, so, obviously, like we've said, day to day, taking this day by day. So tomorrow we'll see if he tests out and he's available to be with us tomorrow. If not, we'll take it obviously to Saturday. If he's healthy as he's been and he's cleared and he's ready to go, then I anticipate him playing.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Jake. Cam Justice, go ahead.
Hey, Kevin, as you guys head into these tough matchups Saturday specifically, and then you've got those divisional games to follow, and you've gone back now and watched the tape from Monday, have you been able to identify any areas that, can help you in terms of closing out games that are maybe down to the wire, and how do you fit those adjustments into your game plan?
Yeah, Cam, it's a good question. We have to close out those games. So many of these games in the NFL are like that. They're one-score games, and we got to finish in those moments. And really, you never know what play is going to affect it. So as important as it is to finish in the fourth quarter, you really have to be great for 60 minutes. And then that starts from the jump. So there are certainly some things that we want to do better offensively, defensively, special teams, schematically, things that we can do in those moments to go close out a game.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cam. Nate Ulrich is next.
Kevin, if you don't get Baker back until Saturday and you haven't had any practices with him, are you gonna have to get creative? I mean, you have a 4:30 kickoff. Can you do some sort of, you did a parking garage walkthrough last year. Are you going to have to do something like that with the quarterback coming back in the fold?
Yeah, we will have a walkthrough on game day. That's something that we typically do on a late afternoon start like this. And that is the benefit, certainly, in if we were able to get Baker back like we anticipate, if not tomorrow. On game day, we'll certainly do that, Nate. And I just think there are moving parts throughout this. And with Baker and with any of the players, when you don't practice, you also have to understand that those players have banked many, many reps. So with the quarterback, we have plays and concepts and things in that we have many, many reps on, going back to training camp, going back to last year, et cetera, with the players that will be in there.
Okay. And in terms of Myles Garrett, we got the status report update that he's questionable. How are you feeling about him overall? How are you viewing his chance to play? And did he do anything in practice when we were out there? We just kind of saw him walk out and stand on the side.
Yeah, he did not do anything at practice today. I would say he's 50-50. He hasn't done anything all week, so we need to see how he progresses over the next few days here. Obviously, he's very confident and he wants to play very badly, but we'll see how it goes over the next couple of days.
Thank you, Nate. Marlon Ridenauer, you're up.
Yeah, Kevin, one more quick thing on Myles. I assume that sounds like a game time decision.
I'm telling you, Marla, we're just going to take in all the information over the next couple of days. So I wouldn't say necessarily that it's going to be a workout type thing and true, up to the 90-minute, but I just want to make sure that we continue to take in information over the next couple of days.
And Nick Harris doesn't have a snap on offense this year. I mean, have you seen any growth just, in his understanding of the game or just in any regard?
Yeah, without a doubt. And, he did play a little bit for us last season. So there is some experience there for him playing some guard. But he works very, very hard. He's had a good season just in terms of what we've been working with him. I do see growth from him. He's a young player, but I do see him getting better.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Marla. Mary Kay Cabot, you're next.
Yeah, Kevin, with John Johnson being ruled out today and Greg already being, with his concussion and COVID and all that kind of stuff, Troy still on the list. Can you just address, the secondary situation and how you feel going into this Packers game with Aaron Rodgers and kind of a shorthanded a little bit the secondary?
Yeah, like you mentioned, Mary Kay will be without a few guys. But again, that's what you have depth for. That's why you practice. That's why those guys, take their job so seriously and prepare. So we'll maybe counting on some guys to step up. And again, that's really what we've done all season long.
Do you have any thoughts yet on Case Keenum and what his availability might possibly be?
Yeah, I don't know. See if he can test out here. But we'll see how it goes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mary Kay. Daryl Ryder, you're up.
Hey, Kevin, I think we got all the injury stuff covered here. So let me ask you about the tight ends. They're so important within your offensive system. And I realize Pittsburgh and Baltimore, they do different things offensively. But one of the things I guess that stood out to me is, Freiermuth and Andrews, they have more touchdowns than your tight end group as a collective. And so I guess my question is, how do you get increased scoring production out of a position that's just seems to be so important to what you want to do fundamentally?
Yeah, I think, Daryl, we do want production from the tight end room. We want production, period. We'll take the points any which way we can get them. If Dave had smaller feet, he would have had a touchdown the other night, would add that to the list. But, in seriousness, those guys do a great job. They're such a big part of what we do. Think about Hoop in that game at home where he's playing every play, and then Dave's playing a ton of plays, and Harrison's coming back off that injury. So they've each come up big for us in different moments. And I think the production in the red zone or production period when it comes to touchdowns is something that we're looking for as an offense, less so from a specific position.
And these last couple of games, obviously because of Nick Chubb and how good he really is, teams really seem to be committing to try and neutralize him. So I guess my question to you, and I know you're not going to give away the game plan here, but have you had conversations internally about maybe switching some things up to get Nick going again and try and counter maybe what some of these teams are doing against him and your offense here?
Yeah, those are all things we talk about, Daryl. Certainly, I would just tell you, not specific to Nick, but the run game in the last however many games hasn't been as efficient or as explosive as it was early. It's never one thing. It's never one player or one scheme or those type of things. So we just got to do our job as coaches and putting these guys in position to succeed. We know that teams, and this goes back to game one as well, they're going to commit to trying to stop the run. And we have opportunities to still run the ball by scheme. Absolutely. But there are also opportunities in the pass game. We just got to make sure that we, again, as coaches, put the guys in position to succeed, whether you're running or throwing it.
Thanks.
Thanks, Daryl. We'll go to Scott Patrick.
Hey, Kevin, you mentioned Jedrick. Jarvis, and Malik McDowell, I would think you're supposed to come off tomorrow. Are you confident they all come off tomorrow?
Yes, I'm confident they come off tomorrow.
And that they will, that they're all asymptomatic and should be back?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to come off it's day 10, so they'll come off the COVID list.
Okay. And then with JC, I mean, he's played every snap since he got here in 2017. So just how hard is it to replace a guy like that, especially a guy in charge of, the line and calling out protections and everything?
I haven't had a chance to talk to JC yet. That news kind of got to me as I was going out in the field. So ultimately, any of our guys that are unavailable, I'm very disappointed for them. And like we've talked about, whether it's an injury or COVID, JC is a big part of what we do. He obviously playing that center position. You're in the thick of it. You're making calls. You're doing so much from a mental aspect of working with the quarterback. So he's somebody that you don't just replace. But I think Nick Harris is definitely up to the task, and I think we have a bunch of smart guys along that front to help him.
Thanks.
Thanks, Scott. We'll take two more. Jake Trotter, Nate Ulrich. Jake?
Kevin, apologies for another logistics question here. So on the 15th, the two starters that went on the COVID list were Baker and Malik. Is Malik in the same boat as Baker in terms of maybe he has to travel on his own, or he can go with the team if he clears out? Because the guys you were talking about were all on December 14th, so they would be automatically with you tomorrow, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so would Malik and Baker travel together if they're in the same boat to get to Green Bay?
Yeah, I mean, Jake, it's all so fluid. Think about some guys may test out on Saturday morning that you weren't anticipating having. So you may have more than one person heading to Green Bay.
So do you have a plane like on standby Saturday morning?
I don't know.
The Browns, I mean.
Oh, yes, I think we will.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Jake. And we'll close with Nate Ulrich.
Kevin, I'm sorry if I missed this earlier, but John Johnson III being ruled out. What's the outlook at safety? You're getting Grant back today, and you had two guys in MJ Stewart and Moffitt who played a lot. So would you lean on those three? You still think Ronnie Harrison can come back? Where are you at with that?
Yeah, fluid. Yes, Ronnie could come back. Very happy to get Grant back, and we'll determine in what capacity, again, based on how he's doing, how he's feeling, those type of things. But feel confident that with Grant, with MJ, with Javonte Moffitt, Richard LeCount, feel like we have guys back there that we can count on.
And we haven't heard anything about your two assistant coaches who also tested positive. What's the state of the coaching staff as it relates to COVID?
Yeah, Ryan Cordell is with us. He tested out same day as me. And then we're just still waiting on TC.